welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome. So today we are doing some first and second impressions, but this is a more high-end version. So I have a couple of bits obviously that I've not tried before, hence my first impressions, and a couple of bits that I have used recently but only once. So let's start with foundation, and I finally have it, the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. So I know I bought this because it went viral, even though it's a super old product, I believe, but I just really wanted to pick it up and see what it's like. I got the shade OW1 Satin, and I'm hoping it doesn't look too kind of orange or pale on me, so fingers crossed, because it was one of the only shades that kind of would work for me, I believe, and so I'm just gonna give it a couple of pumps and see what it's like. I've seen a couple people review it. I just haven't really seen anyone that I really kind of like trust to talk about it, so I'm using my sponge and I'm just gonna see what it's like. We're just gonna tap it in and see what it is. I don't have a primer on, I just am using my skin because I don't have a new primer, or a primer I haven't purchased in a while, especially high-end one. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get this on and see how well it works to hide my redness, because for me to find a good foundation, I kind of just, it needs to have a couple of things. So it needs to be coverage and it needs to be obviously matching, which is what I struggle with a lot. But sometimes it's more like, oh, they haven't got my shade, so I need to go for like the closest one. But this is just like one layer. I obviously haven't done much on this side, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. I don't want to go too heavy because I don't want it to be too cakey, but I need to have some kind of coverage. So let's build this up. Okay, I'm just using up the last bit that was on there, and you know what? The shade is actually pretty good. It's a bit dark at the moment because it's after 4 o'clock in London, and that means it's pretty much nighttime now, so I'm just using whatever light we have. But I think shade wise is pretty good. I mean, coverage wise, I'm not going to say it's full coverage because we have a lot going on here and just a tad over here that is still coming through, but I don't believe it is a full coverage anyway. I think it just says well, it's not on the box, it's a weightless perfecting foundation. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really say much. Medium buildable coverage, that's fair enough. I mean, again, I don't want to add too many layers because I feel like it might be too much, but we'll see how it works with the rest of the products I'm going to use, because so far I'm liking it. It is very weightless. I mean, you can barely feel anything, which is what I like in a foundation, because I don't want to be feeling like I've got like 20 layers on my face. Next, we're going to go on to bronzer. So I have the Rare Beauty bronzer that I picked up a few weeks ago, and I've not really used it since my first impressions. So I am going to use a tiny amount. I'm not going to go too heavy because we don't want to look like an idiot. So I have the shade, if I can find my box, where's it gone? Bright Sands. So I'm gonna just tap that in, and I remember kind of saying when I first used it that, I mean, this is the second lightest shade, and I felt like it might be probably a bit too deep, but again, I'm only using like the tiniest amount, and I want to just blend it in. I don't want to be too heavy because I'm not really confident enough when it comes to like bronzing to kind of sculpt everything, and I just want to get some areas just shaded, and this is definitely a light-handed way to do it. Okay, so let's go on to a blush, and we have a new blush, and this is by Nude Sticks. I don't think it's brand new because it was on sale on Beauty Bay. I got the shade Sunset Gold, and I've never tried Nude Sticks before, and I'm very excited because it looks like it's kind of like a highlighter and blush. So I'm gonna just put this on and see what happens. Don't want to add a crazy amount, even though it is me and I like to add a lot, but I don't want to kind of just look too clownish today. I just want to like see how it works, and it kind of is blended out, like it's not really there, and I don't really see much of the gold like when you kind of put it on. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Okay, it's giving me a nice glow, like it's not too red. Let's add a bit more on this side to kind of even it out. Okay, that's totally fine. I mean, it's not like I was expecting crazy. Well, to be honest, I should expect for like nude sticks, because they are quite well known as not high end, but a little bit more up in price. So I know normally these can be like £30 or whatever, but I got it for obviously a much cheaper fraction, but it's still quite glowy. So let's go on to highlighter. So I'm using again my Charlotte Tilbury Beautifying Face palette that my friend had gotten for me for my birthday, and I haven't really used it since I kind of did my video on it. So we're going to go in with, with this shade just here, and we're just going to kind of get that in my highlighting places. Okay, it's still just as good. I mean, I've got one more Charlotte Tilbury product coming up later, which I'm very excited about, but I haven't really purchased a lot from her recently because she hasn't really brought out anything new apart from the product that I'm going to use afterwards. But let's talk about eyeshadow, and I'm going to go in again with my Nomad Cosmetics. This is the New Zealand Stargazing palette, and I did do a video on it, if like an initial review, if you want to have a look. But it is such a gorgeous palette that I just had to use it again because I don't have a brand new eyeshadow palette to use. Even in my last video I did some impressions, like first impressions on like affordable products. I still use my Beauty Bay palette because it was still brand new and I used it like once or twice on camera. So if you haven't seen this palette, it really is just absolutely stunning, and it was worth it. So I'm gonna just do a nice simple look. I'm not doing anything too crazy. I'm not going to use a primer because we are just simple, and I have actually put some foundation on this. I'm just gonna tap it in. That will probably help it, to be honest. So let's go in with Queenstown Skyline just here as a nice kind of like transition shade, and just going to tap that in. I mean, this is definitely like my skin tone, so as a transition it is very, very light. But let's go in next with Southern Lights just here, and that is going to go in my crease. I'm using the same brush because it didn't really give off much, so blend that in. Okay, so now we're going to kind of go out slightly, and we're going to go in with, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, Tongrio Night Hike. Yes, I'm not going to be able to pronounce some of these names, and I apologise to the people of New Zealand because I simply just am terrible at pronouncing things. So let's get this on here. Okay, so now let's go in with the Cosmos just here, which is a little grey shade, and I'm going to take that more towards the inner corner here. Now let's end on a shimmer, and oh my god, if you haven't seen my initial review of this palette and me showing you some of the shimmers, they're insane. I'm actually going to go in with Milky Way because I know it's going to be out of this world, and I feel like I want to use a brush because I just want to see what it's like. And last time I did use my finger with Southern Cross, but I just want to see what it's like with a brush, and let's see. Okay, it's there. I need to, no. Right, let's do this. Okay, a million times better. I'm just going to go back in with some of the first shades and just blend this in together because I don't want it to be like too harsh and just too kind of like random. Okay, I'm loving this look. It's nothing too like out of this world, but it is something just simple that I wanted to do because again I just wanted to show off this palette and how stunning it is. And then now we're going to end on the lips. So I mentioned Charlotte Tilbury, she's come out with some new lipsticks. This is the Matte Revolution in the shade Pizzazz. So I saw recently online there was this thing where all influencers were getting like empty boxes, like empty PR boxes, and there was this whole like oh my god, who's stolen the lipsticks? And it's just like, that's such a waste of like paper. It's a really funny way to do like PR and stuff, and obviously to get people talking about the brand, but it is pretty wasteful. But anyway, I picked up this lipstick on her app and I used my discount code, and you can use mine as well if you want to, but these are out just in time for Valentine's Day, and it's a gorgeous red and I can't wait because I love red. So let's get this on and see what it's like. Okay, that is super cute. I mean, it's very matte, so you have to kind of glide it on a few times for it to actually kind of start working. But I mean, I made a bit of a mess, so I had to tidy it up, but I feel like it looks pretty good. This is my finished look, and altogether we're looking pretty good, I feel, I hope. I mean, the foundation is nice. Again, I can't wait to use it with other products. Like, I'll be using it with a primer and stuff like that and see what it's like next time. The blush is okay. I don't think it's anything too amazing. It still does the job. And then the eyeshadow palette, still absolutely love it. And then the lipstick is still pretty great. I mean, I like her Pillow Talk, like the formulas and everything. I don't think that one's crazy matte. They're more like satin lipsticks, and this is definitely a matte shade that you kind of have to build up a bit, but it's super gorgeous. And let me know what you guys think. Have you picked up any of these products? Have you picked up the foundation because it went viral like me? You have to find out. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Don't forget to follow me on any of my social medias, because I'm always active on there. Appreciate you sitting down listening to me ramble on. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.